This is verse 13 of the 11th chapter, Gospel of Matthew. Jesus has just remarked that of those born of women, none greater than John the Baptist has arisen. He's indicated that John the Baptist is not only the last prophet of the Old Covenant era, but one that other prophets from an earlier era had anticipated, making him the greatest of them. Both a subject of prophecy as well as himself a prophet, and that gives rise to the comment that Jesus makes that there are, because of his ministry, those who have become the, as it were, violent pursuers of the kingdom. Using the word a little bit guardedly, but nevertheless the point is that John the Baptist was the last one before Christ himself, and this of course represents the inauguration of the kingdom, and would give rise to those who have the most intense desire to obtain it. And so the kingdom of heaven in that sense suffers violence, as it's traditionally rendered. And then Jesus adds an additional comment here. So we have pantes. This is an adjective. It means all or every. In the plural here, all is probably preferable with the postpositive gar for all. Hoi prophetai, all the prophets, from prophetes, prophet, all the prophets. Kai ho nomos, and the law. Of course, the phrase the law and the prophets is common to refer to the Old Testament, what we would call it, the Old Covenant scriptures. Usually it's stated law and the prophets, but because Jesus has just been emphasizing the prophetic ministry, he puts prophets first. So all the prophets and the law, but we would say in a broad sense it's the Old Covenant, messengers of the truth of God. All of them, heos, preposition takes the genitive, Ioannou, until John. So all the laws and the prophets until John, prophetuson, from prophetuo, I prophesy would be the meaning of it. This is the third person plural, aorist active indicative. So they prophesied until John. It's as if he's saying John becomes the proper conclusion of the Old Covenant ministry of the prophets, the Old Covenant prophets, and indeed the law itself are applicable until John. John is the one who closes it out. And of course all of them, including John, are therefore the ones who anticipate and announce the coming of Christ, and he establishes the new covenant. And so this is a new era, and the old is therefore brought to its conclusion. It also, I think, is a safe inference to say that the Old Testament prophets therefore are prophesying events that may pepper history in the Old Covenant era, but again they reach their culminating expression in the person of Christ. It's not legitimate really to start looking for details in the Old Covenant concerning events that might take place well into the future in the New, that they prophesied until John, and the content of their prophecy was until John. The New Testament may anticipate the ongoing work of Christ, and the Old Testament prophets certainly anticipated the effect of Christ, saying things like lions lie down with lambs, or the knowledge of God covers the earth as the water cover the seas. Those are sort of thematic ideas, but not specific events. And that again is seems to be what's foreclosed here, as we say that all the law and the prophets prophesy until John.